don't depend, we don't depend on stars. Stars depend on rather us. If humans are here, and humans is the best star, humans are the superstars. The luck of the other stars depends on the luck of the human beings. If human beings can survive, if they can prosper, and they become good human beings, they can bring peace on this earth and earn peace in the hereafter, and tranquility in the hereafter, success in the hereafter, then this universe will be proud of these humans. But the way we are now, the even stars are cursing us because we are letting them be doomed. Our evil actions and evil beliefs and evil manifestations are making other creatures and other creation suffer, because by our evil we will be coming to destruction and death and doom. So the other parts of the universe will also suffer because of that. So rather it is the opposite. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned to us that they have people, these people who have hypocrisy. This is a disease, and this will be increased, and they will have eventually azabun alimum fi qulubihim maradun fazadahumullahu marada walahum azabun alimum bima kanu yakdhibun. They will have a dreadful punishment because they told a lie. So lying is also a great sin. One of the greatest sin is lying, telling not the truth. The Holy Prophet ﷺ was once asked by a person, by a Sahabi, Ya Rasulullah, there are many things not to do. Just tell me one thing which if I stop doing, then it becomes easy for me to stop other evils as well. So the Holy Prophet told him one thing: stop telling a lie, stop speaking lie. So this person took it and he went away. Now he thought of one evil, like for example stealing, and then he thought, well, I promised to the Holy Prophet that I will not tell a lie. Next time would I have the guts to tell him that I stole and get the punishment, which is Islamic punishment of stealing? So he kept away from it. Another idea came of another sin. Again he said, well, would I be able to tell the Holy Prophet when next time I meet him that I committed this sin and get the punishment of that? So because I promised I would not tell a lie. So telling a lie is one of the greatest sins, and unfortunately we Muslims are just knee deep into it, or rather neck deep into it. Everyone tells a lie. And even the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, you can't even tell a lie even in joke. And people are just making up jokes just to make people laugh, and they are telling lies. Some jokes are totally slander. They are just putting that person down, and deploring that person, ridiculing that person. That ridicule is mentioned in Qur'an, very strictly forbidden in the Qur'an. La yaskhan qawmun min qawmin. Don't make fun of any qawm, any nation. No, don't make fun. Any woman should not make fun of any man. So no individual, no nation, don't make fun of any nation. And Muslims, of course, they are suffering, but they should not make fun of other people, other nations. They should talk against the evil and call the spade a spade, but don't make fun, don't generalize the whole nation as British are this or Pakistanis are this. This is racism. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ told us that telling a lie is great sin, and if you can keep away from it, then you will be safe from many things. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give these people punishment because they said a lie, and lie of a greater. They were playing with the faith. They said we are believers in the day of judgment, we are believers in Allah, and they did not believe. This is the greatest lie, and they will get a punishment. Then وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. And this is happening all around us. People say we are peacemakers. So these people, when people tell them, or Muslims tell them, well, don't make corruption on this earth, and corruption is of many kinds. Fasad is the opposite of Islah. Islah means correction, and corruption is the opposite of correction. Correction is if the house is needs repair, I repair it. That's correction. And corruption is to make some more damage. So this is happening in the society. People are committing crimes, polluting the minds, creating disturbance with the people, creating animosity, hatred amongst people, ridiculing them, many things happening. This is all leading to fasad. So this is fasad to disrupt the community. You know, destroy a village, destroy a building is a great damage, but destroy human character, destroy human life, destroy his psyche, destroy his happiness, or destroy his mentality, his good nature, is the greatest destruction. This is a fasad. So this fasad they were doing. They were corrupting the minds of the people, leading them astray, spreading rumors. So those munafiqeen or those hypocrites, they were doing this. So when they were told, don't do this fasad, don't do this corruption, they would say, no, innama nahnu muslihun, no, we are doing the correction, we are doing islah, we are peacemakers. Ala innahum humul mufsiduna walakin la yash'urun. Allah says, no, beware, these people are the mischief makers, they are the corruption makers, and they are walakin la yash'urun. Still they don't realize. So there are twice, they don't realize that they are cheating themselves, and they don't realize that they are the people who are corrupt and causing corruption. So this is a disease, of course. When you don't realize your disease, you don't realize, you don't know you have got a cancer, then how can you treat it? So these people are untreatable. Allah says, then وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا. When it is told to them, mentioned to them by the Holy Prophet and by the Muslims, Aminu, you believe, you should have belief, kama amanan nasu, the way these believers have believed. Annas, what is annas? Means humans, that people at that time. So who were the people of that time? Now again, this is very crucial. The people around the Holy Prophet ﷺ who were believers, they were his family plus his friends. Who was the first believer? First believer in his family was his wife, Sayyidah Khadija. Of course, this is Ahl al-Bayt, first Ahl al-Bayt. Then the child, 10 years old, who was brought up, perhaps he was at that time about 8, Sayyidina Ali, who was his cousin, who was brought up by the Holy Prophet, because Sayyidina Ali's father, Abu Talib, had looked after the Holy Prophet in his childhood. So the Holy Prophet adopted or took his son in his care. And there's also reports in history that Abu Talib could not earn at that time, although he was a chief of at a later time of the tribe. But chief doesn't mean wealthy person, it means it's an honor but not necessarily wealth. Nowadays it's you get higher job, you get more money, more higher parliamentary you are, and the parliamentarians, they pass on laws in their own favor, increase their own salaries, and the people are dying of starvation. There's so much poverty in London. You can go and see in your streets, there are people who are drug addicts, who are jobless, who have problems, alcoholic problems, and these parliamentarians are there sitting, increasing their own wealth and lining their own pockets. All this top brass, they are enjoying their life, not caring for the societies, and this is world over. The poor are becoming poorer and the rich are becoming richer. So Islam came to bridge this gulf, create equality, not uniformity. Don't make all humans equal, but equality, equity rather, equality in their human rights. Treat them equal. So this is, Arabs in a much way were equal in that way, that they would not amass wealth by corruption. If they would hard working and they would get wealth, hard earning. So Abu Talib had given his sons, or his sons were taken by different brothers and they were looking after. So Sayyidina Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, his nephew also took up Sayyidina Ali and was looking after him. So Sayyidina Ali became the first boy to become Muslim. Now in his household there was Zaid. Again, this is a beautiful story. it's not story, it's a fact of history. Zaid was a slave, was made a slave. Say people used to kidnap people and make them slaves, and that evil has stopped now, but still this kidnapping goes on. But there is a war slaves in the war were also there, and Islam tried to stop all kinds of slavery, and the slavery in the war, it still exists. The people are like what you can say bondage labor, plus making the prisoners work against their will. And prisoners of war mistreat them, not to give any rights to the prisoner, like Guantanamo Bay, America did not give them rights. And in Abu Ghraib in Iraq, American mistreated the prisoners. So prisoners have no right, they are human beings. So in this time and age, people are treated like slaves. So though slavery was curtailed at least, and with the aim of to totally ban it, totally stop it, the Holy Prophet worked for it, Qur'an works for it, and Islam works for it, uprooting slavery. So there was a freed slave. So slave was bought by Sayyidah Khadija. She gave him Zaid, the slave, to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, but the Holy Prophet did this greatest mercy, act of mercy, magnanimity. He said, no, this is not my slave, this is my son. So he adopted him as son. So Zaid was called Zaid bin Muhammad. So this freed slave, the Holy Prophet freed him from slavery, adopted him as a son. Later on Allah said that adopted sons are not real sons, so you can give them give your relatives in marriage to them. So that's treat them as foster. So fostering is there. Adoption and depriving of their parents' name is not allowed in Islam. So Zaid became one of the believers. Inshallah, after the break, we will inshallah continue with this.